All right, Gene, are you ready to be counted in?
I'm ready.
Ready in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Where my mom's at? Where my mom's wearing thongs, hitting bongs at? Raising kids, cleaning shits, need a long nap. Where my mom's at?
Where My Mom's At podcast with Christina P.
Here I am. I got no dates to plug.
So instead, you're just doing a PSA to use hand sanitizer?
Nope, it's not a PSA. It's just what I've been doing for the last 43 years of my life, and this obsessive compulsive behavior's finally paid off. I'm finally getting rewarded for who I am.
Man, way to thrive.
Yep. Guys, I realized last week's episode, you were probably like, why isn't this woman talking about the pandemic? We did record that a bit earlier, but actually, truth be told, I think Monday and Wednesday were two different worlds anyways. So the point being, the S has officially hit the fan, moms and dads. I got to be honest with you that when I canceled my dates last Wednesday, I was at first in so much panic because it's like when you want to pick at the scab, I kept watching the news over and over and over and over. I couldn't stop myself. And then I decided to start baking. So I've been obsessively baking cupcakes and brownies. And then I started drinking. So I went through my drinking phase. And then I went through stocking up on Lexapro, making sure I got my Lexapro, making sure I got my things. So, it's been a lot. And I know everybody listening, if you're listening and you have children, I mean, the one saving grace I can think of in this time is that, thank God, this thing does not take kids down. Oh, I think every one of us would be in a fucking straitjacket right now if this were taking little kids down. So,
Catch me outside.
yeah,
How about that?
I am so happy. And I know all the moms and dads listening, the one universal thing, everybody was like, pandemic, no biggie. My kid's not going to school for a month. Whoa. Everybody's home with their kids. And I think that's going to be the hardest part of this pandemic. I got to get this height right. Is staying home with our little ones. I mean, God damn it. But, we've been doing the lesson plans the school sends, keeping them on the schedule.
Oh, you guys have to... like homeschool and stuff?
Yeah. Oh, that's the order. Most people are homeschooling their kids. They're sending you curriculum. So kids are like working when they're home. This is not like a vacation.
This isn't happy, fun time, coronavirus vacation time?
No, it kind of is at our house because like I got a 4-year-old and a almost 2-year-old. Like they're not really in school per se. And I've just told Ellis that he's on spring break indefinitely. I'm like, you're just on break, dude. I don't know. I haven't told him shit about a virus. Like he's not even. Oh
yeah, so they have no idea.
Care.
So you didn't explain it at all to them, right? And I think that's the move. They don't need to know this shit, right?
Not really. I don't even think he senses that anything is wrong. He has strep throat, and the baby has baby strep, so that's been a bummer. He doesn't really know. All he knows is that mom and dad are around a lot more, and he loves it. And we play with him a lot more, and so with Julian too. Anyways, we're going to have Kati Morton on. We're going to talk to her about how to talk to your children about this stuff. In the meantime, I would like to offer some hope, and I will be your beacon of light. As you noticed, I'm wearing a very colorful shirt. This is one of my best friend, Ela.
You do look amazing.
I look amazing. You know why?
I'm loving this look on.
You know why? I went on a Vision Quest walk this morning because you are still allowed to go outside, and the sun came out, and I went on top of the mountain, and I looked at God's glorious work at the sun and at the no planes coming in and out of LAX. And I heard birds and I saw people walking and dogs. And, for God's sake, Kati Morton. And here's the deal.
Did you hear any birds that sound like this?
No, stupids. But I will tell you that I had a vision, and my vision comes in the form of this. I stopped watching the news. I stopped watching CNN. I stopped watching Fox. And I realized the other day when I hung out with Dr. Drew Pinsky, when we did Dr. Drew After Dark, that I felt calmer after hanging out with him for just 2 hours. And I went home and my whole view changed. Why? Because he's been friends with Dr. Fauci. He's worked with Dr. Fauci since the AIDS epidemic. So that's a long time. That's the 1980s he's known this guy. Listen to what Dr. Drew is saying. Go to drdrew.com. I don't get any money or anything. I'm not plugging him for whatever. I'm just telling you that he makes a lot of sense, you guys. Listen to him. Listen to Dr. Fauci at the CDC. Don't forget these people. Because literally on CNN, I was listening last night, and they'll be like, this person feels like this might lead to a recession. And then they'll talk for an hour about a feeling somebody had. And it's like, this is not even reality yet. This is a feeling of a feeling. What am I saying? What am I reminding people of? I'm just telling you.
No, just because this episode's coming out on Monday, and so we're recording this on March 17th. Right. So some of the stuff might be dated. Just giving a little precursory.
But the point of the story is be mindful. A tweet is not reality. And anyway, let's call Katie. I feel like she's the one to talk about. I'm dialing her number. Let's cut this out.
What do you mean? You're doing such a great job.
This is so fucking boring.
No, it's not.
We just lost.
Cool love.
Oh my God. We just lost everybody listening.
No, this is the best part of the show.
I'm gonna fucking blow my
Look at you,
out.
Mom with technology.
Oh, stop. I like this jam too. Here she is. Oh gosh, that's me, Katie. That's me. Pick up.
Hello?
Hi, Kati Morton.
We're connected.
Hi, I miss you. I love you. I wish you could come in person, but we're being extra cautious.
Death and all that. Sickness.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Anyways, we're on Where My Mom's At, and I wanted to connect with you because at this point I haven't really explained much to my 4-year-old or 2-year-old because they kind of don't seem to be noticing much is up. But to the parents listening, how can we talk to our children about this situation?
Yeah, I think, the worst thing we can actually do is completely ignore it because if you remember being a kid, you always kind of sense the anxiety of your parents.
Yes.
So if we're upset, they already know. They just don't know why. And so I think the best way we can do it is to tell it in a story that would make sense to them. And you don't have to hold anything back. I think people worry a lot about I'm going to traumatize my children. No, it's actually worse for them to try to make up their own story because they don't have all the information. So, and I don't mean all the information, like they need to know, exactly what the CDC is saying or anything.
Dr. Fauci today said, Ellis.
I know. Don't you understand this? Testing. And I think what you can just say is something to the effect of, if they understand the flu or cold, they get sick. You talk about it like that. We have a new sickness and we don't know much about it. And so people are worried. So we have to be very clean and be careful. And if you start feeling sick, you let me know. But I think we're healthy, and show them the things that you do to make them feel so they feel safe. And then there's things they can do to help, like washing their hands. And we sing the Sesame Street song while we do this, or whatever their favorite ditty is. I don't know, the shark song that they're baby.
Oh, not Baby Shark, Katie. Don't you dare say Baby Shark. A million parents just had a headache, had a horrible reaction to that. Hearing that. Also, how do I explain to my children that we're not going to school because of we're staying shut in? Is it just there's germs, and if we stay quarantined and we don't leave the house, you know what I mean? It sounds nutty to say it, even in a nice way, right? And it sounds nutty.
It does, because it is. I can't remember any situation like this in my life.
Hell no.
So I think it's okay to just, as weird as it sounds, to embrace the nuttiness so that they understand, because we just want them to not make up their own story, because they could think, oh, I made mom upset, that's why she seems on edge. Not that they even have that language, but they, something's wrong. Maybe I did something. Or
I see.
Maybe I was so bad that I don't get to go to school.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's terrible. You don't want them thinking that stuff.
And we don't know if they will, but the kids tend to think back to when you were a kid. I used to think when my parents were arguing that I had done something to cause them to argue.
Of course.
We don't know how to always think outside of ourselves.
Of course.
So telling them lots of kids and people are getting sick, and so we're staying home so that nobody else gets sick and we don't get anybody sick. We don't want to get sick and we don't want to get anybody sick. Kids understand colds and stuff, so that's the way I would just frame it.
Okay.
I wouldn't talk about death or anything, like it could kill people. But I would just keep it to, we don't want to get sick. We got to wash our hands and we got to clean ourselves and, stuff like that.
Okay. So school is closed just to make sure your friends don't get sick. Because they call each other friends at school. So.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Okay. I want to explain it to him tonight because we've just been baking a ton of cookies and brownies around the house. Carb loading. And it's been kind of a party at our house. Yeah. Is that what you're doing? So what are you doing? Kati Morton, licensed marriage family therapist. How do therapists deal with the uncertain times?
I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like, just because I know better doesn't mean I do better. I'm feeling anxious too. I'm not sleeping the best. Yeah. But what I've been doing for myself is honestly thought stopping, which it just works for me. So because I can spiral. Like, I'm more of an anxious type person, like personally. Like, I'm in my own therapy for my own reasons. And so I know that if I don't, I have to have some information, but I can't overwhelm myself. So at a certain point when I'm like, okay, that's the update today, shut this shit off so I don't spiral. And then in my head, I'll say something like, okay, now let's think of like, what was your favorite vacation you've taken in the last 5 years? And then I'll tell myself a story about it just to stop the thoughts. Or I'll go through, like right now before we started, I was making a list with Sean of like, what are some things I've been wanting to do around the house that I haven't had time to do?
Well, I found what's really helped. Those are really good thoughts. Like, think of the best thing you've done. Think of positive things. You know what I really have been doing is binging on the news the first few days of this. Because it's like it made me feel worse, but then it also made me feel like I was doing something. And but you're not. It didn't. It just made me spiral even more. And I decided to just know what I need to know at the end of the day or beginning of the day. And then that's it. And I'm off. And then going outside really helped me today. Just going for a walk, going outside, going on a vision quest, listening to music that I like. Because you can still go for a walk. Yeah.
Yeah, you can still walk around. You're supposed to just keep your distance from people, like 6 feet, I think they say. Or you can go take a drive in your car, too.
There you go.
If you don't live in a place that's easy to walk around. Because we're not meant to be cooped up. But I'd take this opportunity to, spend some time with yourself. We don't often get the time to just reflect and consider where things are going and if we're happy with the, certain choices we've been making in the last year or so. Like, it's okay to be reflective, but don't spend 24/7 watching the news. You'll go crazy. It's too much information. It's like so anxiety provoking.
Well, and it's not even real information. I mean, when you start to watch the news through the lens of them having to fill 24 hours of programming. Yes. And literally last night, it was like CNN did an hour because somebody said they feel that the economy will go into a recession. Thoughts? And it's like, well, yeah, we're all fearing that, but nobody can predict anything at this point. And like,
no, and who does that help?
Well, it doesn't help anybody.
No, I hate that. I hate that shit because I'm always like, what's the end goal here? Who's benefiting from? Is there a good answer? No.
Right. Who is benefiting? Who is benefiting is General Electric, who pays for the sponsors. 100%. So they're keeping you entertained and they're keeping you in the cycle of panic and fear, and you're consuming the news. But anyways, okay, so that's a good one. So I love this idea of a time of reflection, maybe a time to sit around and really think about, am I leading a meaningful life? Is this what I want to be doing with my life? What about to quell anxiety?
Yeah, there's a lot we can do because I don't know how nerdy you want me to get on this, but I went down a huge rabbit hole, spent a lot of time reading about our fight, flight, freeze response and our vagus nerve. Anyways, long story short, is the reason that we're feeling so pent up and anxious and just overwhelmed is because in fight, flight, freeze, we have like an identifiable thing that we're afraid of, and we can run away, fight it. There's something we can do. But with the virus, we can't really fight. Like, what do you do? There's nothing you can really do. So we have all this energy. Our body's gearing up to fight a threat, and then there's nothing we can do with that. So it's just like energy is just humming around inside of us. And, that's why our heart can race. We can feel overwhelmed. And so the things that I always recommend is kind of what we already talked about, like limiting the amount of content that you allow yourself to even digest. Also, do the things you can. Like you said, like you're going for a walk, you've been baking, doing, like I was making a list of things I haven't had time to do. like do the things that you can, take some action where you can. If it helps for you to Clorox wipe all the, handles and stuff in your house, fucking do it. I don't care. If you want to wear a mask, it makes you feel safer, makes you feel better, do it. I don't care. If there are things that you can take action, that will at least help you because you feel like I'm moving in the right direction. I'm doing something.
Yes. And I think too, as Americans, we're great consumers. And what do when we're panicked? We buy. We went to the store and we bought toilet paper and we bought canned goods and we bought stuff to make us feel better. And like, hey, man. And that made me feel good.
It made me feel good too. Like we got our Costco order yesterday delivered.
Oh, it feels good.
And I was like it does. I put it away in the freezer and I was like, now I'm not going to die.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does it even make that much sense? No.
You're right, but it's that feeling that all this adrenaline that we all have, and it just kind of, and this walk I went on this morning was so aggressive. Like I was like running through my neighborhood, just getting it all out.
Sure.
Like, motherfucker, I'll fucking take you down, coronavirus. And
right? Like I can't handle this.
Yeah.
It's making us go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like where do we put this? And I found myself getting really depressed too, because I was just depressed for a minute there as well. Like, what do I do? What
sad.
Yeah.
It's okay to like cry about it. As silly as it sounds, like I've been extra tearful myself, and I think it's because of that sense of overwhelm and just sadness for what's happening. Because we all have people in our lives we worry if they get sick, and I think that's a real concern for people. That's why the main thing that we can do, aside from all like, okay, do what you can. Limit the amount of stuff that you're digesting from media, social media. But then through my research is the vagus nerve has what we used to think was only 2 responses. And if you don't understand the vagus nerve, it's kind of like in your, right, kind of behind your collarbone and your shoulder in a little way. It's over that area.
Yep.
And it is responsible for stimulating our nervous system and calming our nervous system. They thought it could only do one or the other. But this doctor did a ton of research and found out that there's a third thing where you can be stimulated and calmed at the same time, and he calls it like the social connection theory. And so it's our system where social connection is really the antidote for all of the anxiety, and that's why it's really important that we find ways to connect with people. FaceTime, Skype, Hangouts, phone conversations, texting. That really helps us be reminded we're not alone, and that will ultimately soothe our system so we stop feeling like out of control.
Right. And the irony being we're told not to do all that stuff. And we work with a bunch of millennials here, and they're more social than us that have children and stay home. I'm used to quarantine, BTW. This is like just having a baby. This is
like
not
our regular
hard.
life.
Yeah. Like for people with children, they're like, oh, the only thing that's different is that they're not going to school. But we basically do this all the time.
Totally.
But for younger people, like we have in the booths, Zolo, he's in college. He's still living in the dorms at his college. And it must be really tough, I imagine, for the youngsters, as they say, to want to go out and party. But what are you telling those youngsters listening, Miss Katie? What are you telling them?
Stay in. It's not worth it. It's not about you. You'll survive this. Like, we know that younger people aren't as susceptible, but consider what your actions will do to someone else. It's not about you right now. It's about the greater good. So what's the hashtag? Stay in and save lives or something. It's legitimately that. And I love that meme. I don't know if you've seen it going around. It's like, our grandparents and great-grandparents were called to war to keep us safe, and you're called to sit on your fucking couch. So sit on your fucking couch. Like, come on now. Do your part. It's not that hard.
I know. Just chill, bro. Netflix and chill. I mean, isn't that what we all want to do? It's so the irony is like, that's all anybody says. Oh, it's the weekend. I'm going to Netflix and chill. And now everybody's bitching because that's all we're being told to do, basically.
Yeah. And it's like, that's the easiest thing you could do. So.
Christ. Oh, Letote. I've been using Letote for a couple of years now. Actually, more. I started using Letote when I was pregnant with my first son, Ellis, because I wanted to get fashionable maternity wear, but I didn't want to go out and buy a bunch of stuff and then just do what with it. So Letote is fantastic because you can sign up at letote.com, LETOTE.com, and there's a flat monthly fee and you get access to their entire closet fashion, Clothing. You can choose the clothes and accessories you'd like to rent. That's right. You rent clothes, and once the box of fashion reaches your door, you wear everything for as long as you like, and when you're done, you send back your items in their prepaid envelope. How great. What a great eco-friendly thing to do, because really when you think about it, you wear something and then what happens? You just toss it out. So this is a great thing, and I love Le Tote. Le Tote is offering 40% off your first 2 months to my listeners. Visit letote.com and use code WMMA to get your discount today. That is Le Tote, Letote. They even take care of the laundry. How great is that? You just take care of the compliments. Thank you, Le Tote. All right. What about other kid stuff? Anything kid related? Let me see. What have you been being asked about kid stuff? I don't even know what to ask you. What about anxiety about death and stuff? My son's been like, are you going to die? Like, because the dog died a while back.
Oh, death. Yeah. I mean, the thing about kids and death is it's okay to talk about it with them. I think we as adults have our own response to death. We're like, oh my God, it's scary. It's terrible. We shouldn't talk about it. I'm trying to personally avoid it in my brain. And then kids become worried about it because they're like, oh, this is something that's worrisome. But if you say, all of us will die at some point in a time, but we have to take care of ourselves. And I think it's part of a life conversation. It's not really something that should be avoided, because then it makes children think that it's like scarier.
Yeah.
So it's actually okay to just talk about it. And I think having a dog pass away is actually an easy way to have a conversation with a child. You could say, like, yeah, that, they were getting old and their body just couldn't take it anymore, and they passed away and went to doggy heaven or whatever. If you want to talk about it that way, that's fine. If not, that's fine too. But I think the more we talk about it, and if they say, are you going to die? You can say, well, I take care of myself so that I will have a long life. But at some point, I will die. And, is that scary to you? Let them ask you questions. It's okay.
Yeah.
We kind of have to like hold space for our children so that they feel safe to ask the questions. So that then they get the answers from us. They don't make them up.
Got you. Okay.
It's hard, though. I know, because I don't want to talk about it either.
Well, I think the older I get, the more existential I become, where I'm actually more worried about dying and death. But I got my physical recently, and I'm not dying right now. So that's kind of good to know.
You could even say that to Ellis. Say, and I went and got my physical from the doctor, and everything looks good.
Yeah.
They said that my blood pressure is good, and,
Yeah.
It's okay to say that. I think that gives him also some tangible, like, that's why we go to the doctor, to make sure we're healthy. We're okay. You know.
Sorry, I interrupted you, though, before. Did you have any thoughts for parents and for children in this time? Anything else you
I think
want to
something I've been seeing a lot of my friends do, and I don't know if this is helpful, but some kids don't like to have their hands washed or wash their hands or have themselves wiped. I mean, I remember when I was a babysitter and nanny, they'd fight the wipe, especially on their face.
My kids
stuff. They like
hate it.
Yeah, as if you're like torturing them. I'm like, life is really much harder than this. Just hang in there.
I know. I tell them, I'm like, you think I was wiping cyanide on your face? Like, it's a fucking wet tissue,
it's
bro.
Like a boogie wipe.
Yeah, dude.
Seriously, like, get with it.
I know.
Yeah. So they've been doing some craft projects to show them, like, because you have to talk about you can get sick. And I don't know if you've seen this, but it's been on Instagram now. You put like a bowl with water and like some black pepper on it. Mm-hmm. And you stick their finger in the black pepper and say, when it's dirty, like it's not cleaned. And then you have them dip their finger in soap and they put it, and the pepper moves away from them. Like it cleans it, like pushes it out. And so you can say, like, those are the germs that can get us sick. And that's why we have to wipe with these, or we have to wash with this, is so that we don't get sick. And It's kind of a fun craft project. It would also kill some time because, I mean, you're home alone with kids all day. It's a lot.
Oh, I know. Don't I know it? Yeah, we've been painting a lot. I've been letting messes happen a lot. Okay, I know you have another call. I really thank you so much for calling in. And how about, anything else, Katie? How's your life going besides?
I mean, things are good. I think part of what I would just encourage everybody, and even myself, to do is to keep some sense of normalcy.
Yes.
Yes, you're overwhelmed, so you're not going to get as much done as you normally would, and that's okay. So don't shit talk yourself about it. You're doing the best you can. But try to get some physical exercise. You don't have to jam out and do crazy workouts, but try to stretch, try to move around. If you have, children and you're splitting time, you and your partner should split the time with them so that you get a little break. Like, just try to give yourself some sense of normalcy so that, we can weather this, because hopefully it'll be over soon, but we really don't know.
That's really good advice. And also, I'm a huge advocate of keeping a schedule in the house anyways for the children to know what's coming. And I think maintaining some routines if you can, right? And some schedule if you can is good. And don't let yourself go completely off the rails. I think a little cookie eating is fine, but let's not gain.
Agreed.
Right? Like, let's not gain 60 pounds and now we're in double trouble.
Totally. But yes, I think the rituals and routines do keep us feeling somewhat sane during this very insane time.
It is insane, girl. I've never experienced this level of cray-cray in my life.
It's crazy. I don't even, I'm sure everybody feels this way, but last week you and I were talking, I was like, yeah, I'll come in. Yeah. That's no problem. And then boom, it was like, no, we can't. I feel irresponsible, walking out to get my mail, for God's sake. I'm like, should I be out here? It's crazy. It's an interesting time. It's something that I think we'll look back on in, 20 years and be like, wow, remember that? That was wild.
This is wild. You're right. The suddenness of it. It was like one minute I literally was in my doctor's office getting a physical. I was supposed to fly to Miami the next day, and just as a passing,
for your show.
Yeah, I go, what do you think of me going to Miami tomorrow? And he looked at me and goes, that's the dumbest question you've ever asked. And I go, what about London in 1 month? He goes, that's the second dumbest question you've ever asked. And then he called me the R word. I'm like, what? Literally my doctor. And I'm like, and I go, wow, okay. Something's changing. Yep. The culture had changed. Something had shifted in that day. And then by the time I got home, I had canceled Miami, and that was it. Okay. Well, I just want to thank you, Katie, for taking time out of your pandemic life.
Of course.
To talk to us.
Always happy to come on.
And I may check in with you next week. Who knows what's going to happen between now and then. And but anyway, thank you so much. And wash your hands.
You too. Take care. And I'll be around next week too.
All right, girl. Go F your husband. What else are you going to do? Go pet your dogs.
Right.
I
know.
All right.
Will do.
Dude. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay.
You're the best.
Bye.
There you go. Katie Morton says you guys should be petting your dogs and panicking. No, she didn't say panic, but crazy times, my loves. Crazy times. So let's do some business. I love these follow-up stuff. We did this one. Oh, okay. This person's responding to my collecting my children's hair from their haircuts. Hey, CP, you keeping your baby's hair isn't abnormal, but the guys giving you gripe made me question if the fact that I kept my baby's umbilical cord in my underwear drawer is, quote, too carried away from a interesting hot topic. Is keeping your child's shriveled umbilical cord too much? Well,
not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.
You're an unhygienic mom. I think that, A, is it hygienic? That's a question for Dr. Drew. B, some people eat placenta after they've had their children. Hey, man, I think we love our kids so much that you don't want to part with any of their little bits. I fucking get it.
I guess my question would be, is it in a jar or is it just kind of like a beef jerky type of situation? Yeah. Is it just dehydrated?
Yeah, it looks like a tiny beef jerky, and it's kept in this person's underwear drawer.
That's definitely not the place for it. I think over the fireplace is where you put something like that, right?
You have to mount it properly. You have to put it in a jar.
Turn it into like a Christmas ornament or a Hanukkah bush ornament, whatever you do.
I think a Christmas ornament would be the best. The best. I'm trying to think, but I'm going to keep all my kids' teeth.
But okay, so hold on.
Them.
So what's your storing technique with the teeth?
Oh, I think I will just put them in like a nice little jewelry case.
Hold on. Would put them in, meaning that they're not there yet?
No.
Where are they now?
No, there aren't any because they haven't lost their teeth yet.
Oh, okay.
Not yet.
What age do they start losing their teeth at?
I think like 6, 5 or 6.
Pretty good run.
Yeah, boo-boos.
So you're gonna like keep it in a mason jar over the fireplace, or put like a nice like see-through magnet holder onto the fridge so everyone could see his teeth?
No, I'm keeping it in my jewelry case, the little drawer. Because here's what I learned. So we had this guy organize our home at one point, and I have all these keepsakes from both of my children. He goes, it's one thing to keep the things, but you must keep them stored properly, which makes a lot of sense. Like, I just had my wedding dress thrown in a closet. Like, he's like, we should probably have this. If you want to keep it, just store it properly. So I don't know what that properly means, but if you're going to keep this umbilical cord, you may want to look into the proper way of storing it so that like you can give it to that kid when they're an adult, you know? I don't know what that would be, but
food saver,
shrink wrap.
Yeah, you just vacuum all the air that can make it go bad, and then it's like, boom, good forever, right?
I don't know.
Set it and forget it.
I set it and forget it. But there are people out there that can probably help you with this. Like there are people whose job it is. They're called like professional packers, professional organizers. I would contact like an organizer and have that question asked. So anyway, here's a general mail. This is about wiping front to back. Very important topic around here. Greetings from England. Oh, England. I hope you guys are okay. Not a mom, but I love listening to all your insights. Thank you. Thanks to your podcast. Last week I realized I've been wiping incorrectly. Let me clarify. I always do front to back, right, when I brown, just not when I pee. I kind of remember a friend telling me I was doing it wrong in my 20s, and I just ignored her advice. Now I'm trying to break a 35-year habit. I think I should ask my mom, what the F? I want to find out what my sister does, but she's kind of annoyed with me at the moment, so it might not be the best time to ask. Anyways, thanks. I'm learning this new skill because of you guys. Love to the whole team. Eiley? Well, yes. Thank you, Eiley. I'm so happy that you are now wiping correctly. So just to recap, for those of you listening, I would say front to back as a universal wipe technique is good judgment for men and women, because that way everything gets pushed back, and that includes urine and the brown. You'd rather have poopy this way than forward, because you don't want poop in your urinary tract. There you go. So if you have little girls, front to back. Yeah. Very good. Oh, God. Let's do, do we have any general? Okay, let's do a mom hack. Hi, my name is Anna from Ohio. I'm 25 years old and a first-time mom to a 7-month-old boy. I wanted to share a mom hack. Currently, my son hates having his diaper changed. Yeah, they all do. He stands up, wiggles, and flips over so much that he ends up rolling around in his poop if I'm not quick enough. Yeah. I suggest buying colorful greeting cards to distract them. I've been giving him my Mother's Day card to hold every time I changed him. It distracts him just long enough to get him changed. Keep him high and tight, Mommy Anna. Diaper change with boys is very different than diaper change with girls. One time Bert was over at our house and I was changing Ellis, and he was about 6 months old. And Ellis was doing a crocodile roll as I'm just trying to, put the diaper on. He goes, Bert goes, whoa, girls don't do this. Woo, 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 woo. And they grab everything within they can. So here's what I like to do for diaper changes with boys. Number one, if you don't already do this, wee-wee pads. Puppy pee-pee pads, essential. This goes not just for boys, for girls. Go to Amazon, get your puppy training pads. Put that on your changing table, okay? It's better than don't do cloth, because then you have to put that in the washing machine every time. Wee-wee pads, you can get caca on them, and then you just toss them in the diaper pail. Even better. Anyway, you put the baby down on the wee-wee pad. You got your backup dye. You put it under the baby, right? So now you've got 2 dyes. Okay, and here's a technique I've learned over the years. When you're going in for the poopy dye change, you want to put your thumb, so you're unwrapping the diaper, scoop already, right? So you've already kind of got it under the bum and then in the beans, right? You kind of want to scoop and pull down the caca. That's going to be there as fast as you can. Cover it immediately with the backup dye. Throw that one away and get your wipes, and then And then you can use the second one if it's a real disaster, whoosh, to do a second layer of wipe, and then as quick as you can. Distraction toys, 100% toy cars, the greeting card, anything that's got sounds, lights. They love that. We used to have a Tweety bird. You hand it to them, and then the boy is occupied. Always keep them occupied. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other tips and tricks I have. Oh, get the goddamn wiper warmer, Bruce. Come on, go get it on fucking Amazon. It is so cheap. A wiper warmer makes everybody's life so much nicer. But yes, good luck with your boy. They're so hard. We have voicemail mom hacks. Also, send me how you're entertaining your children in this time. How are you moms keeping them busy? I'll share you what I've been doing. I find that a bowl of rice, if you get a nice metal bowl, a big one, you just find some rice or some beans that you're never going to effing use anyways. Put them in there. I hand the boys spatulas, cups, shaker bottles, and I let them go to town on rice and beans. Does it make a mess? Yeah, but we're in quarantine and I don't care. And if it keeps them quiet for an hour, that is great. We've watched Toy Story 3 no less than 15 times a day at my house. And for some reason, Ellis refuses to watch any other movie but Toy Story 3. And it's the most depressing, weird one. Like, they get sent to a preschool and they're they have to escape from it. It's like such a bummer. He's so dark.
Oh, is that a version of Toy Story that like they teach kids about like the Holocaust and stuff?
It's kind of what it sounds like.
So that's like a Five Foot Goes West type of deal.
That was so depressing, those Five-O movies.
Yeah, it's all about like, hey, you know what we should teach kids? About genocide.
The Russians. No, it's not about that, but it is about like being left at a preschool, being left by your owner, and it's really bad.
I haven't seen it. Wait, it's mostly about just being abandoned?
Yeah, so they grow up with this boy.
Uh-huh.
And then the boy goes to college, and the mom is like, you need to get rid of all your toys. I know. And then she's like, you want to donate them? You want to keep them in the attic? And he's intending to store them in the attic, but then they accidentally get thrown away by the mom. And then they go on this horrible journey to a preschool where they're abused by children. And then they have to find a way out, but they can't get out. And then they almost get killed in a melty fire of garbage. It's like really terrifying. It's really, really scarring. I don't like it. I hate it. I'm trying to get him back into The Incredible Life of Pets, which is a bit lighthearted. I think he's got... See, I should probably talk to him because I have been just saying that we've been on a vacation from school. Maybe I need to talk to him about his feelings. I don't know. So anyways, here's other things I've been doing around the house. I go to Amazon. I've always bought bulk because I shop on Amazon. A roll of Scotch tape goes a really long way. You hand a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old a roll of tape, they will go to town on it. Also, shaving cream. I'm a huge believer in just a can of shaving cream. Give it to those kids, put them in the bathtub, let them go to town with that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Paint, huge in our house too. I got Spin Art from Amazon recently. That was a huge hit. I'm trying to think.
I heard this tip that I kind of like.
Yeah.
Because boys inherently like to break stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So just go outside, like against like a wall or something, and just take some ice cubes.
Oh.
And just be like, hey, bro, just like chuck these at the wall over there, Doug.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea until they start chucking it at the dog and then at their little brother.
Yeah, that does kind of train them to throw shit and break shit even more, huh?
Yeah.
Not really an outlet. Maybe save that one for middle school.
Yeah, that's an older boy. They always want to destroy stuff. You're always curbing that thing of like just boy destruction. Water balloons. We're huge fans of just filling up water balloons and tossing them in the backyard. A box of flour. I've got, you get a box, you put flour in it, you put a little oil in it, vegetable oil, mix it up. It kind of makes the flour a little less, what's the word, dusty?
Like sticky?
It makes it a little sticky. You put in cups. You put in dinosaurs.
It makes it like easier to clean.
Yeah, and it also keeps the powder together. I love that. Anyway, write to me. Let me know whereMyMomsAt@gmail.com. Let me know what you're doing. Send me videos. Oh, I want to see your videos of your quarantine. Let's see how horrible your life is right now. Because I think every parent listening is like, It's so annoying. Like there is a point in the day where I shut down and I'm just like, you got to go to bed. I think I sent the kids to bed at 6:30 last night. I was like, night, night. And we let Ellis sleep with us 2 nights ago. Oh, this is fascinating. So, you know when you sleep with your kid and it sounds like a good idea and then they sleep with you next to you and they kick you the whole night and nobody sleep. Oh, you know this? Did you kick your parents to death?
That's a thing to do.
That's the thing to
It's
do.
how you pass the time in there.
Yeah. So I texted my pediatrician and I go, what the fuck is up with these kids moving around? Well, it's something to do with their brains, obviously, and their because they're so young, their inability to suppress their physical stuff, right? When adults dream, that part of your body is suppressed, the nervous system, so you don't kick around. So they're dreaming. And also another thing she said, which was fascinating, is so she had a case where a little girl was kicking a lot in her sleep, and the parents were all panicked, thinking that she had MS or some kind of condition. And it turns out that children masturbate in their sleep. Now, I'm not saying sexually. Yeah, not sexually. Not like where they know what they're doing and they're watching porn and they're into interracial gangbangs. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they know that something feels good and that's what they're doing in their sleep. Isn't that fascinating? I had no idea.
Wild.
That's wild. So they're actually, your children could be masturbating, which is, I thought was just wild. Because I do remember as a little girl being like, oh, that part of my body feels nice, but I didn't, you don't have an orgasm or you don't actively like rub one out yet. But anyway, that's what they're doing in your sleep. Kids are doing it. Chew on that disturbing thought, guys. When it comes to beauty products, there are so many choices. Why not demand more from your favorite brands? I am more motivated than ever to stick with high quality, amazing products that are both vegan and cruelty free. Why not? Why not go with a company that's already doing that stuff? That's why I love Thrive Cosmetics. Thrive Cosmetics products are made with high performance, skin loving ingredients. They last forever. Their formulas, they don't have any parabens, sulfates, or phthalates. The cleanser is fantastic. I use the Bright Balance 3-in-1. They're waterproof makeup. It leaves your skin soft, glowing, and never stripped or dry. Thrive Cosmetics never tests on animals. Never. And they're PETA certified as a completely vegan, cruelty-free company. And here's the best part. They give back. For every product purchased, Thrive Cosmetics helps women in need thrive by donating funds or products. Their causes include women emerging from homelessness, surviving domestic abuse, and women fighting cancer. Why not buy some makeup that's going to help out another woman? It is a win-win, and the products are so good, I promise. Start thriving and help women in need today by going to thrivecosmetics.com/WMMA and use code WMMA for 15% off your first purchase. That's Thrive, CAUSE, metics.com/WMMA. Code WMMA for 50% off. Thrivecosmetics.com/WMMA. Code WMMA. Thank you. Oh, moms, let's be honest. We really don't have time every day to wash the old hair. I certainly do not, but I use Batiste. I love it. It's a foam product. It is super easy. You just give your hair an instant refresh with Batiste foam. Batiste's new waterless cleansing foams gently moisturize normal or dry hair and leave you feeling and smelling fresh in less than 60 seconds. Just one dollop gives your hair a rejuvenating refresh. I love this product. I've been using it forever, especially when I fly across the country. Nothing is worse than when you land and you're all scummy and I have to go perform. I use this stuff. I take the travel size with me. I have it on me. I put it in the hand, zhuzh it through. I do it all the way through, and then I let it settle. I brush the hair, and it looks like I just came from the salon. Can't recommend it enough. Try it out. Batiste foam, to be you, is refreshing. Okay.
We got a couple of voicemail mom hacks.
Let's do mom hacks. Those are my absolute favorite thing. What you got? Let's go. What you got?
Hi, James. My name is Tom. Just wanted to give you a dad hack that I've shared with other people and I found really useful. When your kid falls down or smacks into something or whatever, and they're not crying, but they look at you like, should I be crying? So many people make the mistake of going, oh, are you okay? And then they cry. But if you go, you're all right, then you got a better chance of them not crying. If you say, oh, you're okay, because then they look at you like, oh, really? I'm okay? And then they don't cry. Well, you get less tears. Every once in a while you say you're okay and they cry anyways. But anyway, that's my dad hack. Have a good one. Keep them high and tight. Bye.
Doesn't that sound like a dad hack? You're fine. Suck it up, homo. What are you, a pussy? I'm just kidding. He didn't say it like that. But yeah, I think a lot of it is tone. They're looking to you for a cue as to how to react to that. I like the idea of like, yeah, if it legit was just a little nothing, yeah, okay, good. You do good. We're good. Okay, let's go. But I always do worry about like them not being able to gauge on their own how they feel. So I do like to check in with him, even if he's uncertain. Like, how you doing? Is that hurting you? Because you also don't want to, I think, discourage somebody from learning if that feels bad. So, right?
No, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, like,
but I think it's also if the kid, like, if he broke something or if she broke a
you'll
leg,
know it.
It's like that trick will not work.
No.
If bones broke or something,
Hell no.
It's a good preemptive, it's a good preventative measure, but it's not like it won't stop them from crying their eyes out if they, tore an ACL or something.
No, but
Kids have ACLs?
Yeah, they do. I've seen parents overdo the, you're fine, get up, you're fine. And you're like, well, that kid's going to have anxiety issues later on in life. Anyway, let's do it. Let's do another mom hack. I like these.
All right, so this one is like part mom hack, part follow-up from what we talked about last episode.
Hi, guys. I was listening this morning, and we were talking about the first poop after you deliver a baby. And something that I came up with was putting a pad in the freezer and then just applying counter pressure to your girly parts so that poop can kind of more easily come out of your butthole. All right. Thank you. Have a good day, guys. Keep them high and tight.
Now, hold on. She puts the cold maxi pad before she browns, I'm assuming.
I think she just has a stockpile in the freezer. Like she's got the normal ones and then she's got the ones that are just for browning.
But does she push it up against there after the brown or before the brown?
Sounds like during the brown.
Like
to ease it?
I think to numb it, like I would probably put it there before the brown and then right after the brown.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how it works down there after birth.
Yeah.
That's kind of your department there.
That's my department. What really helped are Tux medicated pads. I would highly recommend. I mean, they give them to you at the hospital usually. Those
medicated
are
pads? That's like
Tux for hemorrhoids. That'll help that ring sting out, the stitch sting. Fuck, it's so gnarly. Did you ever have your butthole cut?
I've had some what's that part? Rectum? I've had some of that removed.
How do you say?
I've had some. How do you say rectum? I've had some like intestine removed. I remember like it was weird pooping after that surgery.
Yeah, let's say the least.
Yeah, my cue, like I don't know if it's like, oh, maybe this is something we could relate to. Maybe this is something I had that was close to childbirth. But is your cue for shitting different after birth? Because like for me, it became my new cue was that not, oh, I need to shit. It's uncomfortable to sit. I wonder why.
No. In my case, it was.
That's just an intestine
I
thing?
think I have to shit. I better shit right now, otherwise it's gonna come out. Like there was no time delay. It was like, oh my god, I better go, otherwise I will shit my pants.
There was no figure out time.
No figure out time because you have no muscle control in that area for a long time. Hey, so how are you dealing with the stress of this time, Nadav? Are we doubling up on our wings? Or is the Wingstop open?
Here's the thing. I am actively trying to get sponsored by Wingstop Ranch. I am trying to comment on every single one of their posts on social media. I'm trying to slide in their DMs. So far, nothing, but I am persistent.
Okay.
And a lot of people I see are commenting saying like, Man, you do need to stock up on that Kirkland TP, like for that butthole. Here's the thing, though. I've been on Wingstop Ranch for a long time. My body knows what to do with it. So it's just business as usual when I'm doing like 24/7 Wingstop, you know?
Wait, so you are eating 24/7. What are you doing to cope?
That's probably not good.
Is that what you're doing?
I did have Wingstop like 3 times last week.
So you are stress eating at this point.
I wouldn't call it stress eating. I mean, it's normal meals. I'm definitely like eating there more than I feel like I like to.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely stressing out a bit. You know, like I thought I was a master at compartmentalization just from like, you know, all the traumas and stuff that I've dealt with over the years. And I'm like, oh, I'm pretty good at not having this like affect me when I don't want it to. But like I slept like shit last night. I woke up at 4 a.m. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Why can't I go back to sleep? Like I'm just an overall layer of anxiety and stress more than I usually am is like added on top of my life right now.
You know what's interesting? I've been sleeping like an angel. I think.
Hold on, this whole time or ever since you decided to just start listening to Drew?
Oh no, this whole time.
Interesting.
And I fall asleep at early AF. I'm talking 9 p.m. and then I sleep until the kids wake up. And I haven't slept this great.
But are you using
forever.
like sleeping aids? Or you use the CBD stuff, right?
No, I stopped. No.
You're doing this. You're having at what Bert calls unassisted sleeps.
Here's what I am doing. Sometimes I will have a glass of wine. I'm trying not to drink. No, nothing, because. I'll tell you why. I think just having all of us under the same roof, it feels so good to me. Like knowing that Tommy's there, I feel like we're okay. Just having Tom there, I think, he's my security blanket in life.
Right. I mean, all of you haven't been like in the same place for this long in a row, huh?
That's what I'm saying. Kind of the
short of the fires, right?
Yeah. No, the blessing in the skies, as they say, is that he's
you're really ahead of the
curb.
Yeah.
I go to the library and I order an espresso. Is that we're all together for the first time for ages, and like I really am kind of enjoying it.
Yeah. Do you think baby number 3 is going to be coming anytime soon because of all this time together? Or
no, dude.
So many kids are going to be born in 9 months. So many.
I know. But you know what? And I was saying this on YMH is that I'm not feeling that urge to F. Like when 9/11 hit, I was like, I better F. I need to reproduce. I did have this unconscious thing. And I don't feel like this is that catastrophic. I don't think this is the end of the world. I think this is a pause on the world and it's going to impact people horribly financially and stuff. But we're not going to all die and shit. It's just annoying. It's going to be an annoyance, the great annoyance. Anyway, what do you think?
I think we'll rebound. You know, it's one of those things where it's like it totally sucks right now. But you're not dead yet. So, you know, put your pants on one leg at a time and, you know, just keep walking and walk it off, you champ, right?
Yeah. And I don't think we're all going to die. I think that it is a specific group that's more susceptible and whatever. We'll be fine. All right. Mom hacks. What do we got? We got another one?
Yeah.
I love these.
We got okay. So we've had something similar to this that's being described as a hack.
Okay.
But I feel like this has a high potential to backfire. Tell me what you think.
Okay.
Hey, Mommy. And just to clear anything, you are the water champ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clearly.
So I have a mom hack for you. I use it sporadically with my job. And I work in an office, so this works for me. It could work in any profession, just depends on what you do. But, you know, if you're at work and you're just like, God damn it, I fucking hate it here, and I hate my boss, and people are pissing you off, just sit at your desk and then just pick up your phone, walk out in the hallway, make it like a minute or two, walk back inside, and then go to your supervisor, boss, or what have you, and say, oh my goodness, my school or daycare just called and my kid just threw up or got hit in the head or whatever excuse. I have to, you know, is it okay if I leave to go tend to them? And 99% of the time they'll be like, oh, of course, you know, I hope she feels better or she's okay. And then boom, you get to fucking leave. So yeah, hope that helps.
I love it.
you.
I love it. And I would add to that an addendum. You better not go and pick up your kid early from school. You better go to the movies or get yourself a pedicure or do something fun for yourself. Okay? That's the addendum. Now, not right now. Obviously, we're in pandemic mode. Maybe you'll go for a walk, but do something for yourself, girl. Good for you.
Now, you don't think that ever has the like, all it takes is one time calling that bluff.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, you know what? Actually, we need you here. But, I will call for an Uber or like I will pay for whatever to get your kid picked up. And now it turns into a thing like, ooh, how do I get out of
No,
this?
because Uber won't, the school won't release your kid to anybody who's not on like a specified sheet. They won't throw your kid in an Uber. You have to go. It's like mom,
Not
dad.
even in LA?
No, dude. They do not give your children to just anybody. No. What do you think? These are like dogs?
I think it was a
These
little
are-
different when I went to school.
Yeah, of course.
They're just like, hey, you can't stay here anymore. Why aren't you picked up yet? Stuff like that.
No, they care nowadays who they give your kid to. You can't just throw them in the streets, dude.
Not in the streets, but you're like, hey, just stay close to the gate, but we are going to lock this behind you.
No.
Okay.
No.
No, they don't do that anymore?
No. And first of all, okay, how are they going to catch? Okay, a stomach flu lasts like 24 hours. That's a good one to do. Or you could just be like, he had diarrhea. Diarrhea is a foolproof one. I've used diarrhea on myself to call in sick. Diarrhea, right? That's the best excuse.
Explosive diarrhea. That's you always got to add explosive, some sort of adjective that's just like, ooh, this ain't normal, typical, everyday diarrhea.
And vomiting, because nobody wants to be around you if you're vomiting.
Yeah, it's offer like a vulnerable thing where it's just like, wow, I can't believe they just shared.
Yeah.
They have explosive diarrhea. No
Yes,
follow-up questions for me.
Yeah, it's so embarrassing that no one's going to ask you. And with children and stuff, like they get well so fast that how are they going to find out? Unless like you're so enmeshed with your bosses. Like if his kid or her kid goes to the same school as yours, kid's school, blah, blah, blah. Just stay off social media, dipshit. Don't get on Facebook and be like, dude, I totally played hooky.
Yeah, posting pictures from the beach and stuff.
Yeah, that's how you get caught.
So how often would you say that you could use this? I feel like once a week is way too much.
Too much.
Right?
Quarterly.
Oh, okay. So as often as a beach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Quarterly BJ calling with a kid problem.
And quarterly explosive diarrhea at daycare.
Yeah.
Solid.
You need a break. Sometimes you need a break. All right.
I'm glad you were able to guide me through this one.
You got it.
I can't remember if we played this one on the last one. Does quilt onesie sound familiar to you? Making a quilt out of onesies?
No.
All right, here we go.
Hi, Christina. This is Abby from Wyoming. Love the podcast. I've been listening to it since my son was born. It started the day after he was born, so we listen every week.
Hey.
Anyway, I have a mom hack regarding saving all your little ones' onesies. I heard that you have bins and bins of them on episode 24, and it's starting to become a lot.
Yes.
So I save all of my kiddos' onesies, but only like the memorable, like cute ones that you really like, mush over.
Yeah.
And I have a friend that sews, and so basically I give her all of my onesies or like cute blankets or whatever, and she will turn it into a big quilt. Like she'll cut out the cute little graphic from the onesie or whatever and just stitch it all together and put a nice fuzzy backing on it, and it's just a nice cute quilt. So basically you just turn all those onesies into a really nice big blanket, and then you can, have it forever. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Oh my God, I want that lady's email, Native. I'm gonna email her.
I mean, I have her phone number. We could text her if you want.
Yeah, I want that. What a great idea, dude. If you're out there and you can sew, this is actually a great business idea where you can take your kids' loveys, you can take the onesies, you can take all the stuff that you shouldn't be putting in boxes and make into a quilt. That's a great business idea. One that sounds, what's this word again that we're in? Pandemic proof. Pandemic proof kind of work. You know what I'm saying? Fuck, that's brilliant. Okay, let's do mom fails. We haven't done mom fails in a while. What do we got, Gene?
Now it's time for a round of mom fails.
All right, we got some voicemails. Here's the first one.
Okay.
Hey, Gene. This is Jason San Diego. I have a mom and dad fail.
Uh-oh.
We had a seat called a bumbo.
Oh, yeah.
On your counter so you can feed your kid when they're an infant. And we had our baby in it. And little did we know that he was going to start trying to sit up and stand up and do all these things that were a little ahead of schedule. And he leapt from the bumbo. And we have a pretty tall counter that he landed on the floor. We had just turned literally for a split second to grab our coffee, which was on the other end of the kitchen.
Yeah.
And within that split second, he jumped onto the floor, which led us to go to the emergency room. They're like, no, it looks like he fell on his arm. His arms cushioned his head. There's no head trauma. But shortly thereafter, we thought he had developed some sort of tick. So we took him to the emergency room and then eventually got CAT scans and hooked him up to an EKG. It was a whole nightmare that ended up being much ado about nothing. So he's happy, he's healthy, he's fine. Now he's like 2.5. That was like 6 months old. So don't use a bumbo. Long story short.
No.
Thanks, Gene. Keep feathering it, brothers.
Keep feathering it. Yeah, the bumbo. Will you Google that so the people watching can see that? So the bumbo seat is one of those foreign items that I loved. I think it's a foreign bumbo. That's why it's named something so fun, like bum boombo. And it's a little seat you can put your kiddo in when they're right at the age they should not be walking, but they should be a little shaky wobblies, maybe like 4 months to about, I don't know, until they're walking, before they can walk. And it's good to feed them in. Some of them come with trays. So the bumbo in and of itself, I don't find to be unsafe. That's one we had. It comes with a tray. They're actually quite great for traveling. If you want to put the kid on the bumbo and put them in this, you feed them. The only thing is, and this goes with any seat, is you never put them on the counter. Never, 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 never on the counter because of exactly what you just said happening. Man, you turn your back on a kid on a counter for 1 second and all hell breaks loose. I mean, one time, if I have a kid on the counter, just, and I have to turn my head away from a baby on the counter, I will put my hip like into them and then I will turn my head because those fuckers will fall down. They'll grab a knife. Whatever it is you don't want them to do, they will do on that counter because they never get to sit up there. One time, Ellis, I had him sitting on the counter and he was older. He was like 2. God, this was my big mom fail. I don't know if I've shared this one, but the toaster, we had just used the toaster, so it was still hot. And he was, on the counter. He was so excited to be there. And I kept telling him, don't touch the toaster. It's hot. Don't touch it. And what does he do? Toaster. Ha! And he burned his little hand. And oh my God, I felt so bad. It was the worst. It was the worst. I still feel horrible to this day. But never. And same on the diaper, the changing table. Do not walk across the room to get anything. Try to keep your onesies and everything in drawers under the changing table. They make changing tables now that go on top of dressers. So you just open. I put everything right there so that you don't turn your back on the kid ever. Fuck. Bad. All right. What else we got? Fails.
All right. We got one more voicemail.
Hey, Jeans. My name is Tom. Kind of got a dad fail. When my daughter was a toddler, we gave her raisins, whole raisins. Wasn't thinking much about it. Well, apparently she swallowed them whole. Sorry, my slip of the tongue there. Swallowed them whole. And when they came out the back end, they rehydrated, and she was like having the toughest time getting them out because, little bitty kid trying to push out grape-sized things. So that's my failure. Thank you much. Have a good day. High and tight. All that later.
That can happen?
Yeah, I had no idea. That sounds terrifying.
That can happen? No, that can't. Really? They rehydrate in your colon
You know,
and then
maybe
Dr. Drew.
Maybe we do an experiment.
You do an experiment.
I'll do it. I think I could push a grape out. I think I could push out a rehydrated raisin. I'll take one
You'll
for the
do
team.
it?
You know what? I think, for the good of science and where my mom's at, I think everyone wants to know what'll happen. So I will dry swallow some raisins for everybody.
Ugh, I hate raisins, don't you? Fucking hate them.
They're okay.
I hate raisins.
Why?
Ugh,
Do you like grapes?
Dicks. Yeah.
What are you doing? What's going on?
I like that. But I don't like. I always hated being given raisins as snacks, or worse, during Halloween when some asshole gives you raisins. Remember that shit when you trick or treat?
Oh, okay. So you see it as like fake candy, which is why you don't like it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. This is making more sense.
Nature's candy. Ugh, I don't want your nasty raisins. Give me
Yeah,
a
I would
treat.
always hate that when my parents are like, "I'm hungry," and they're like, "Eat an apple." I'm like,
Ugh.
"No,
No, give me a Pop-Tart.
I want something I want."
God damn. All right. Is that it for the fails? Okay, let's do what would Christina P do? Okay, let me see.
You got mom questions? CP's got mom answers. What would Christina P do?
All right, let's do a voicemail. What you got, mommies? What you got?
Hey, Mommy. So yesterday was mine and my boyfriend's 1-year anniversary, and I have 2 kids from another dude. We're not going to talk about that. But so after I got the kids to bed, I was so excited to go and celebrate our anniversary, and I came up to him passed out on my bed. So Christina, I'm just wondering, what do you do to keep from strangling Tom on a daily basis? But anyway, if you have advice, please let me know. Thanks. Bye.
That is just like, isn't that the essence to all marriage, is how do you keep from strangling your partner? Well, here's what I found in 15 years of being with the same dude, is that, like, first of all, you don't fight about everything. Whoever said that honesty is the best policy has never been married for 15 years. Like, you don't fucking bring up every little thing. You just let it go. You let stuff go. You try to stay kind no matter what, and get away. Sometimes you need to get away from each other. Go outside, get away from your partner. But him falling asleep when you wanted to go to Pound Town, super annoying. Is that what happened? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, that's what I took away from it too.
God damn it. Well, I mean, look, at least my husband's always ready to go to Pound Town, so you can just reboot and try again, right?
I mean, yeah, I don't even think, I don't know this mommy's husband, or sorry, this mommy's boyfriend, this person that she's having an anniversary with. I don't think he would be too upset if you woke him up and be like, "Hey, I want to go to Pound Town." He'd be like, "All right, here we go."
Right.
Let me put my shoes on.
Put my shoes on? Are you a porn star?
Yeah, only with my Timbs on.
Stupid. I'm like, damn, what is Nadav doing on his off time? Yeah, you could wake him up. I mean, look, or you could just say, you owe me. I tend to make jokes we're comics. I'd be like, you fell asleep last night. You got to pay the piper double tonight. Like, you just fuck with him and you're like, you better pay me. And then he'll be like, well, what are you talking about? And then you can, tell him whatever sexual favor you want. You'd be like, well, you got to do this and that.
Yeah, and he'll be like, yeah, you got it.
You got it. And then he'll be stoked. Yeah, a sense of humor definitely helps. And then when my partner's really freaking out, when Tom's really freaking out, I don't fuck with him. But when it's mild like that, just fuck with him, bro. It's always better. All right, one more, and then we'll bounce. We'll go back to quarantine.
Hey, mommies. I have a question that might stump you, but I love this platform, so I'm going to try it out anyway. I have 3 kids. 2 easygoing kids that make me look like a varsity mommy on the regular. But ironically, it's our middle child that is spirited, to put it kindly. She's 4 and has been using Jesus against us to usurp authority. We are surrounded by very, very religious family members, but my genes and I aren't part of that craziness anymore. So lately, when confronted with typical authority issues, my daughter pulls this trump card saying, "You're in charge of me, but Jesus is in charge of you. So Jesus is in charge, and he told me I can." Can you help give advice how to navigate these waters? Because Jesus ain't helping. Keep it high and tight. Love you, mommies.
I think you have a genius on your hands, and that little girl is going to be the leader of the world, man. Brilliant logic. She should definitely go to law school.
How do you combat that?
Brilliant. Okay, so Jesus is the boss of mom and dad, and Jesus told her the logic is really sound. So, like, I'm trying to go back to like my logic 101 in philosophy. Like if the premise is that Jesus is okay. So her premise is that Jesus is the supreme ruler of all things, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, whatever Jesus says goes. That's not true. God is the father of Jesus, and he's the supreme leader. So what you say, so you have to out logic a 4-year-old. They have to use their logic.
I don't even think you necessarily need to out logic them.
You do.
I think you just, they're using arguments like that. You could use 4-year-old type arguments back and they won't question it.
That's what I'm saying. So let's use this 4-year-old's logic is, but Jesus is the supreme leader and Jesus is in charge of you and Jesus says it's okay. No. And then so you have to correct their logic and say, no, Jesus is not the supreme in charge. It is God. And God and I had a discussion. This is what's up. And I have a direct line to God.
There you go. Yeah, you build that in so they think that you're Jesus' sister, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So God and I had a chat, and he said you need to do whatever we say. And that's how that goes. God and I have an argument.
Squashed it.
Squashed that shit.
Squashed it.
There you go. Perfect parenting. Anyways, let me know what you're doing. Send me your videos. I want to hear from you in this crazy time of coronavirus. How are you feeling? How are you doing? How are you holding up? Email me whereMyMomsAt at gmail.com. Send me your videos. And then
leave voicemails.
Leave voicemails. What's the phone number?
It's at 213-375-5184.
All right, you guys, stay calm, stay cool. Until next time, bros.
Where my mom's at. Where my mom's wearing thongs, hitting bongs at. Raising kids, cleaning shits, need a long nap. Where my mom's at.
Where my mom